Good afternoon. I am Ronaldo McKenzie, and welcome to another episode of the Neoliberal Round podcast. There is much happening today. Day 13 of the Russian-Ukrainian war, where Russia and Putin, or Putin and Russia, whichever way you may say it, has invaded or continued its invasion of Ukraine. And of course, this morning we announced some time ago that Putin and Russia had announced the shelling of some defense complexes or facilities and some city buildings near where hundreds of civilians, thousands of civilians live and work and are fighting. And of course, this just an hour ago, I heard this report came in.
Там авиация сработала по роддому. Люди есть тут?
Of course, that is a video that I posted on YouTube that I got from President Zelensky's Telegram page, and it's the aftermath, showing the aftermath of Russian bombs in Mariupol, Ukraine. And it's disheveled buildings, destroyed buildings and hospitals and cities where civilians and hundreds of civilians and people live. And in the video he posted, and he sent a message to the world. He says, he writes, "Close the sky right now. Stop the killings. You have the power." Of course, again, he's saying, close the sky right now. Stop the killings. You have the power. In fact, what he's asking is not just for the skies to be closed, but that we protect the Ukrainian airspace. Not just to implement a no-fly zone over Ukraine, but every single video, every single time he speaks, and every day, his constant cry, and the Ukrainians' cry, is that the world, the West, would implement a no-fly zone over Ukraine and protect the Ukrainian airspace against Russian bombs and attacks and air raids. And it would also avert a humanitarian catastrophe that is already happening in Ukraine. And so I actually posted this on Reddit, and I've gotten hundreds of reply, and I want to share the heated discussion that's happening on Reddit surrounding this particular posting, and not just the posting, but my post about joining President Zelensky and Ukraine in requesting for the airspace over Ukraine to be closed, and that we protect their airspace with our jets and so on, and missiles and so on and so forth. There are those who are against this. We say we stand with Russia, with Ukraine, but there are people who are profusely against applying or implementing a no-fly zone over Ukraine. And I'm going to tell you why they are against it. And I'm going to share with you why they are against it, because I'm going to lift up or share with you some of the discussions. But before that, there is breaking news coming in right now. And just a few, about 44 minutes ago, President Zelensky announced or released a video announcing that America or the US government has banned all imports from Russia. All imports from Russia. And I'm going to play a little bit of that for you.
Українки. Сьогодні дуже важливі новини. Сполучені Штати Америки зробили крок, який відчутно послав.
He said, Ukrainians, I have important news for you. Today, the Americans have taken a very important step that will significantly weaken the enemy or the invaders.
Окупантів. Змусить платити за агресію. Відповідати за зло, яке вони наробили. За все зло. Америка забороняє імпорт нафти з Росії, нафтопродуктів, газу, вугілля.
America has banned or prohibits imports from Russia, and the US has banned all imports from Russia, including coal, gas, petroleum products, and coal. Again, the US has banned all imports from Russia, and this includes oil, gas, petroleum products, and coal. In addition to that, he says here that the US prohibits any investment, any citizen from engaging in any investment in Russia.
Забороняє громадянам США будь-які інвестиції в російський паливно-енергетичний комплекс.
In Russia, in any investment in Russia's fuel or energy sectors. Fuel or energy sectors. So that is breaking news coming in, and that's good. But he did not say, I didn't hear application platforms, so on and so forth. Because I'm quite sure the US has investments or links and connections with Russia that goes beyond fuel and energy. But that's a good sign, and that's a major step that the US has taken that shows that the world is united with Ukraine against Russia. There is more news that is coming in that you may have missed. About 12 hours ago, President Zelensky released a video, and many believe or think that he is probably stupid to have done that, or it's probably lunacy. But this is, in the video, he says this.
Понеділок день важкий. В країні війна, тож кожен день понеділок. Вечірній Київ.
He said, here is the evening in Kyiv.
Наш офіс.
He shows a video of the office, and he shows a panoramic view of the outside of the city office where he is currently. And then he is moving inside of the building, the office where he is.
Понеділок.
He says it's Monday.
Вечір.
Monday evening. You know we used to say.
Знаєте, ми звикли говорити понеділок день важкий.
He says Monday is a hard work. But the video that he shows, he says, I stay in Kyiv, Bankova Street. I'm not hiding, and I'm not afraid of anyone. He says in the video, the video is on my YouTube channel. You could check out my YouTube channel, Ronaldo McKenzie, or you could also access it by going on my Twitter feed, Ronaldo McKenzie, or you can access it by going on ronaldocmckenzie.blogspot.com, or on my Facebook, ronaldo.mckenzie. I posted a link to the feed, but you can go straight to my YouTube channel, and you will see a video where President Zelensky shows a video of where he is in Ukraine and said, I stay in Kyiv, Bankover Street. I'm not hiding and I'm not afraid of anyone. That is quite bold. And many question, why would President Zelensky, why would he have done such a thing? Reveal his location. First of all, we don't know if that's really where he is. Maybe he's throwing off the enemy. 2, maybe that's really where he is, but it's difficult for the enemy to get to him because Russian missile, as much as they are a superpower and have several capabilities, they are not as exact and direct. And the third thing is that many Ukrainians today are still living and fighting and working in the cities of Ukraine, even in the face of occupation, even in the face of bombings. And we just heard the aftermath, shouts, screams, the aftermath, and I wish you could have seen it, but in the future we'll have a live feed. But if you can go to my YouTube channel, you will see that video of Mariupol, of a shelling that was just done in a very busy, heavy populated neighborhood. Where innocent civilians are living. And so he wanted to let Ukrainians know that, hey, I am also part. Not only am I inspiring you, not only am I encouraging you, but I'm also demonstrating that I'm leading by example here. I am here with you. I'm here in the fight. It's Monday evening. Every day is Monday. And he said also in the video, I am here. Everyone is here. The team is here working hard for you to inspire and to come in and to continue to will his people to fight and to endure. To fight and to endure and to hold on until the kind of support that he is constantly seeking for will come. And what is that support? Why is he? Why are the Ukrainians holding on? Because I'm telling you, Ukraine is a developing country. They do not have nuclear capabilities, and they are developing, but not in the sense of we think Jamaica is developing or another thing. But they are a little bit better off. But they are a small, peaceful, developed country that cannot hurt. Think of the Jamaica versus the US, so to speak. Or Cuba versus the US, so to speak. Or any developing country. That's what's happening here. In Eastern Europe, in that side of it's Russia. Russia is a superpower. Probably one of the top 2 or top 3 countries in terms of nuclear weaponry and arsenal, and in terms of the amount of money that is spent per year towards their military capabilities. So Russia is a part of the United Nations and part of the Security Council. So there is no way that Ukraine can truly defeat Russia. They can hold out for a very long time. And they are already doing so. And the video that we just showed is demonstrating and providing evidence of that, and is also encouraging his people and leading by example, and he's doing everything he can. But he's also trying to encourage the world to do whatever we can. But one of the most important things that we can do is we can, as we said, close the airspace over Ukraine. And that's what because once we can do that, then it provides more leverage. There's no way that Russia now will have the capability to continue to dominate by using their air raids and planes and so on to continue to reign. Welcome back to this episode 7 of the Neoliberal Round podcast. Just before the break, we were discussing a very important point about showing a video of the aftermath. Discussing a post or a discussion I'm having on Reddit and several different feeds about the aftermath of Russian bombs in Mariupol, Ukraine. And that that was after an announcement from Russia that they would be shelling down bombs they'll be shelling more buildings, and especially near where hundreds of civilians reside. Now, and we had indicated that President Zelensky had sent or released a video showing the aftermath of a shelling that was done just today, a shelling that was done by Russian bomb destroying Mariupol, Ukraine. And in the video, he says, "Close the sky right now, stop the killings, you have the power." And we're making a very important point, that is very important, that the Ukrainians are don't stand a chance against another superpower with nuclear capabilities. But all they have is just hope, and all they can do is hold out until some support, the support that they need in order to defend and to overcome Russians. So the decision will be made to implement a no-fly zone and to also provide air support to protecting the sky, Ukrainian sky, from Russian air raids and bombs and so on and so forth. So actually, the video, we also played a YouTube video that was released some time ago, saying that the world is united, and I was very suspicious about that, because I was saying that we still have connections with Russia in more ways than one. And Today, we indicated that U.S. has banned all imports from Russia, and we're talking about coal, oil, and gas, and petroleum products. And we are also saying we're also getting reports that the U.S. is prohibiting, not banning, but prohibiting its citizens from engaging in any kind of investment with Russia. The next news that's good news coming in, that's showing that we're now waging an economic war against Russia. The next news that's coming in that speaks to how the world is uniting with Ukraine against Russia is by citizens banning products, banning the use of certain products that come from Russia. And we had also, in a previous episode, shared some information for you that you may need in your research in coming to understand what companies have ties with Russia. And if you check out my blog at Renaldo C. Mackenzie, RENALDO C. Mackenzie.blogspot.com, I have news which shows some of these products that we're talking about, some of these ties. So I published an article dated March 8, 2022 on boycotting Russia. Here's a list of companies that still profit off Putin. 1. McDonald's. Burger King, PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, Estee Lauder Companies, Herbalife Nutrition Limited, Kimberly-Clark Corp, Hilton Hotels Corporation, Starbucks, and Luke Oil. There, you can access the link and check for updates on these companies and join the effort to contacting these companies at https://ban-russia.com. Again, https://ban-russia.com. Or you could just go to any of my social media feeds, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, or blogspot.com, ronaldocmckenzie.blogspot.com, and you can find a link right there and it will take you straight to the feed. So we had posted so those are some of the ways that, so now that you know that some of these companies might have ties, you can actually go to the link, click on it, and contact these companies. So now, finally, to the news, to the final portion of the news that I want to lift up for you before we conclude here. So we are going somewhere with this news. What is important is that that President Zelensky continues to call for the world to close the sky right now over Ukraine. So I posted a link on a link of this video with the caption on Reddit, which read just that: the aftermath of Russian bombs in Ukraine, close the sky right now, with some additional stuff. Okay, so I actually posted on my blogspot and on 12:46 today. It's a story which is called "Shut the F Up About Closing the Skies. You want world annihilation by nuclear weapon?" And I need to actually edit the post because it's not correct here. So someone actually sent that. You want world annihilation by nuclear weapon. So, because I wanted to, and so I'm happy I actually posted this, because now I understand why we are slow to closing the airspace over Ukraine. So after I posted the video on YouTube showing the aftermath of Russian bombs today that had rained down on Mariupol, destroying a peaceful civilian neighborhood filled with people, the caption read, "Close the skies." I shared this on Reddit, and you can find a link on blogspot.com. Now, going on Reddit, of course. Now, someone replied, cursing me and using foul language. "Shut the F up about closing the skies. You want the world to be annihilated by nuclear weapons? Shut the F up." I replied, "Take that same anger and boldness and direct it at Putin, and use that same do not care attitude to abandon fear and close the skies. Yet you are here coiling under the fear of Putin. So you are a fake or a hypocrite. You can direct your hardness at me, but you can't direct it at Putin, and is afraid of aggression with Putin. Are you that weak and spineless? Russians will not allow such atrocities. They are even going to Ukraine to fight." And you can read my longer reply in the comments thread below. So that was just a summarized version. But here is the more longer commentary, which you might find very useful, if you are also afraid that closing the airspace over Ukraine may cause Putin, who is probably very formidable because he intimidates fear. Probably that's one of the reasons. So let me delve into that a little bit more, and let me refute that or debunk that fear for you. So I asked the question, if you say to me, shut the F up about closing the skies, you want the world to be annihilated by nuclear weapons, the question is, how so? Why do you think that closing the sky over Ukraine is gonna cause world annihilation? Are you that gullible or oblivious? That's what Russia wants. Or that's what Russia wants. To inflict fear and threats so that you can comply and become a lackey for whatever they want and to accomplish in the world. Which is probably world domination, taking down each country one at a time. If it is true that closing the sky above Ukraine is going to cause world annihilation, then do you think Putin and innocent Russians who are protesting against the war in St. Petersburg, would want that or allow that? If it is true that closing the sky is going to cause world annihilation, then do you think Putin and innocent Russians who are protesting against the war in St. Petersburg would want that or allow that? The rich oligarchs who live Western life and have Western connections, you think they want that or would allow it? You think the world is that weak to coil under threats? Further, if we are not gonna act to close the Ukrainian sky or the airspace over the Ukrainian sky because of the fear we have of Russian threats or nuclear war with the world, because fear of the fear of the threat of Russian war, nuclear war with the world, then that's a problem. And it sets a dangerous precedent, because that is what Putin is hoping for. And it means then that Putin can go into any country and start a war or intimidate or take over, because he knows that no one will come to that country's side or aid out of fear of world annihilation. If we are afraid of world annihilation from Russia, doesn't that mean there's no one who can stop him from invading another country, then another, and another, until he controls the whole world? So what's your fears? You seem bold and bad, using foul language, but you coil under Putin's ability to use nuclear weapons and aggression against Putin. When he is slowly taking on and taking over the world. You seem big and bad saying shut up. But I'm saying, yes, that's cool, but take that same boldness and anger to Putin and close the skies. That's the boldness we need but directed at the persons and the right people and at the right place. Further, you lack hope and belief in the Russian people. Those Russian people, to not allow Putin to have such a way to lead Russia into a war against the world that they will and cannot win. So close the skies. Further, I guess that's why all these countries want nuclear capabilities. All these countries want, that's why they want nuclear capabilities. So that they can protect against another that has one. For if some countries can have nuclear weapons and others can't, then the expectation is that those that have should come to the aid of those that don't have. But that's not the case here. Those who have, Russia, is bullying Ukraine, that don't. And what is worse, those who have won't close the airspace to protect another because of the threat of nuclear war. This is a dangerous argument. To say we are afraid of World War III, so we won't protect weaker countries? So the UN and NATO was set up just so that its members alone could have the power to invade other countries. Other countries who are weak and don't have such capabilities, and they go around the world preventing other countries from having such capabilities. So now, I understand why North Korea and Iran want to have nuclear capabilities. Because they know, like Putin, that the world won't do anything but sit idly by if they choose to intimidate another country that doesn't have nuclear weapons. In fact, everyone should have nuclear weapons after this, because no one will dare attack or invade another country if they know they have nuclear weapons. Unless they don't, then it's okay, because the world won't come to their aid in terms of closing and protecting an airspace to protect and preserve a weaker country. That's what's happening now. Putin knows that the world is afraid of nuclear war, so he's going ahead with all of his intimidations and aggressions without remorse or fear for the world. For the world fear him more with nuclear weapons. But this stance by the world only make it more salacious for Putin. For there's nothing stopping him from invading any one country. When we talk about globalization and inequality, this is what we mean when the world leaves the vulnerable behind. So this is very important. This is a very important argument for NATO, that you have to understand. We have to put this into perspective. That NATO and the Security Council and those with nuclear weapons, they go around the world preventing a world war by what? By allowing one of their countries with superpower, with nuclear weapons, to invade another country, and will sit idly by doing nothing because they have nuclear weapons. Each of these countries, they have these superpowers. They have nuclear weapons. But they go around preventing North Korea and Iran and some of these countries from having nuclear weapons. But now we know why these countries want to have nuclear weapons. Because if they don't have nuclear weapons, what's there to stop another country with nuclear capability from coming into their country and having their way with that country? Because that's how power is adjudicated in the world now, it seems. So that is a very important argument, and that's a danger. The next very important ramification and implication of this, stemming from the argument that we should not come to Ukraine's aid by closing the airspace because we don't want a world war, because Russia has nuclear weapons and he probably will rain down or use his nuclear weapons and start a whole world war against the world. We are saying that we have to have belief in the Russian people, that they will not allow, just as how Hitler was sabotaged by people within Germany. I don't believe that the Russian people will be able to allow him to even to do that. So there's no reason to be afraid of closing the airspace, because if we do that, it will prevent catastrophes from happening. It will prevent Russia from raining down bombs and shelling down bombs and so on. And not only just to close the airspace, but to also use jets and so on to protect the airspace. So this is what we're hoping for. And the argument, and if you, by the way, you can follow the conversation, join the conversation on Reddit concerning this issue. It's very heated, it's very lively. People are using all types of languages, but that's how it is. But it's very intense, and I understand the fears that people have. But those fears, that is what will fuel despots and people who have goals of world domination. That's what would give them power and will allow them the opportunity to take over the world. And then you will now have to give in to their particular ideologies. So we hope that the world would set an example. Would set an example and would lead from the front, because there's 141 countries on the United Nations that voted against Russian aggression. So we are hoping for the best, and continue to support us, subscribe to this program, share it with your friends, follow me on any of my social media feeds, Twitter, Ronaldo McKenzie, Facebook, Ronaldo.McKenzie, LinkedIn, Ronaldo.c.McKenzie, or you can follow me on you can subscribe to the blog, to my blog spot where I blog a lot, ronaldocmckenzie.blogspot.com. Of course, https:///theneoliberal.com is our website, and we're having some problems. We are unable to post. You can visit the website, but we are unable to make any changes or any new posts. We are having some problems with that website. But as soon as we are able to make changes, then of course you will see some fresh new stuff on there. But continue to follow us on our other feeds and pages, and continue to let us know how we can support and join the debate and the discussions, and continue to support, to stand against Ukraine, against Russia. Take care.